Are we on?
We're ready to go.
All right. It being 8:05, we are going to commence today's proceedings before the Putnam County Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement. My name is Ron Brown. I am a licensed attorney. I am appointed by the Putnam County Commission pursuant to Florida statutes and the Putnam County Code to oversee these proceedings. What we will have today is a set of proceedings whereby the county will be bringing allegations concerning, okay, what are we dealing with?
Firewall inspection.
They're just getting back to that.
I cannot hear you at all.
They're just getting back from
Firewall inspection.
we tell them
You're not going to set the fire alarm off, are you?
they said no.
Okay.
Our apologies. We had some administrative assistants walking through the auditorium. I want to make sure everybody was represented. We will be hearing the allegations made by the county regarding claims of violations of various county codes supported by their testimony and evidence. Any respondents who are present either in person, and I doubt there will be any in person today, or by telephone, will have an opportunity to participate. They may also participate by becoming members in the Zoom meeting. The proceedings will not follow the strict requirements of law in terms of evidence, but we will follow basic tenets of due process. That is, we are going to make sure that people have an opportunity to be noticed and to be heard and have an opportunity to present the evidence and testimony in support of their position. So we will be calling the cases in the order in which they are presented. The proceedings are what are known as quasi-judicial proceedings. They are like a court of law, but not exactly like a court of law. But one of the requirements is that all the evidence be what we call substantial and competent. And to do so requires that the evidence be, testimony be sworn. So I'm going to ask that all members of the county's code staff who are here today, please raise their right hands and take the following oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
And all three of the staff members present have affirmed that oath. So we're going to begin with the first case. This will be case number 2019-197, MLJBS Investments, LLC. Mr. Coppola.
Okay, the location is 120 Phillip Avenue in Interlaken. Violations are Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 103.2, unsafe structure. It is an open, accessible mobile home and shed. Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 307.4, care of premises.
And before we begin, do we have this case on the screen going out on YouTube? I don't see it on my screen.
You don't see it on your screen?
Yeah, we just need to make sure we're on the same page before we begin.
Yeah, it says I'm sharing it.
All I see is the agenda. Bear with us.
Yeah, but I can't share it.
All right, I don't see it, so it's hard for me to follow it.
He doesn't see it. He doesn't see what we're seeing.
So is the screen I'm looking at what's going out? Well, that screen doesn't have the cases on it.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. See it now?
This is looking better.
All right.
Very good.
Should I start from the
Now,
beginning?
Mr. Coppola, please begin.
Start from the beginning?
Ready.
Okay, location 120 Phillip Avenue, Interlaken. Violations are Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 103.2, unsafe structure.
The volume is starting to fade.
Open and accessible mobile home and shed. Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 307.4.
I can hear it, but I can't really make it out. For some reason, it's not as good as it was last time.
Have everything up. How about now?
Nope, that won't do it. Go ahead and give it a shot. That's best gonna get.
Can you hear me?
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, location 120 Phillip Avenue, Interlochen. Violations are Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 103.2, unsafe structure. It is an open accessible mobile home and shed. Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 307.4, care of premises, trash and debris. Notices sent. First observed May 1st, 2019. Notice of violation sent was May 14, 2019 and May 4th, 2020. Date for correction was 6/14, 2019 and June 4th, 2020. The green card was not signed. It was posted at the site on August 31st, 2020 and at the complex August 31st, 2020. The final inspection before the hearing was September 10, 2020, and they were not in compliance. Demonstrative evidence is true and accurate photos. Staff recommends property owner needs to obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with certificate of completion, or have said structure demolished and remove all demolition debris, and property needs to be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris and must be kept maintained at all times. Staff recommends property owner meet compliance by October 15th, or a $25 per day fine to begin on October 16, 2020. The administrative fee for this case is $100 and is due at that time.
The administrative evidence does not include what happened in due process on the notification by green card. Do you have that? Where did you send it and what kind of response did you get? It said you did not get the green card. Usually the evidence includes a green card and what happened.
Yeah, we never received it in the mail. It has not.
Do you
come
have
back.
that in your file? I'd like to look at it.
I mean, I just have the posting.
Yeah, what I want to clarify is to make sure the address is proper.
29.
I want to see what happened to it. It's a due process thing.
It might have came back last minute.
Yeah.
If we don't get it back, sir, all we have is the receipt showing that we actually.
May I look at it?
Which one is it?
This one, we just received it.
May I look at it? Thanks. So for the record, the article was addressed to MLJBS Investments LLC, 867 Spinnaker Drive, West Hollywood, Florida, 33019. And that is the address listed on the tax collector's website and the property appraiser's website as the official address for the property.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'll read them and make sure that is in the record to show that it was sent to the correct address and that there was no response at that address.
Yes, sir. Sometimes we don't get
It
to
basically said it was unclaimed as opposed to an improper address. Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead.
Okay, my pictures show that I posted it and I did my affidavit of service.
Okay, so go through it with me. You've got unsafe structure, open accessible, mobile home and shed. Show me what photos you're referencing to demonstrate that violation.
Okay, the first picture, the front door, every window is broken on it. The second picture shows all the trash and debris all around the,
Bear with us, we're going through a fire alarm. All right, proceed. Thank you.
So the second picture shows a piece of the shed that's on the left that's really dilapidated. And another picture of the shed along with the mobile home. On May 1st was when I was able to get good pictures. I got inside. You'll see again, the windows are broken on the door. On the right, there's a window broken. On the left, there's another window wide open. That's a close-up of the door with the glass broken. The windows in the back are open. Every window is pretty much open with trash and debris all around it. There was squatters apparently taking over this place. There's more trash and debris. Their electric pole that's on the ground. There's a better shot of the shed that's about to collapse. And that's all I have.
So in terms of care of premises at 307.4 is mostly the trash and debris in the yard?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you take the photographs you've submitted as evidence?
Yes, sir.
Do the photographs adequately represent the condition of the property and the date on which you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
There being no one in the audience as a respondent, do we have anyone waiting on telephone queue?
No, sir. The property owner was in contact in the beginning of the case, and then he just dropped off. Never signed anything, never had.
I cannot hear you.
In the beginning of the case, before I took over, he had called, he had interest in fixing it up, and that was in May of 2019, and then we never heard from him again, and never signed any green cards, and he didn't pay the 2019 tax.
Can we confirm there's no one in the queue?
He has. Jacob confirmed there was none in the queue. Jacob confirmed.
It's talking louder ain't gonna help.
He confirmed there was no one in the queue.
Thank you very much. All right, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find a violation of 103.2 of the Putnam County Standard Housing Code, unsafe structure due to the open, accessible mobile home and shed. The property is not fit for human habitation, is unsanitary and unsafe, has open ingress and egress, and materials which constitute a fire hazard and are dangerous to human health. We're also going to find a violation of 307.4 of the Putnam County Standard Housing Code due to trash and debris in the yard in an open storage circumstance based on the evidence and testimony presented. We're going to enter an order recommending or finding the property owner must obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion, or have the structure demolished and remove all demolition debris. Property must be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris, must be kept maintained at all times. Compliance date for all of the above shall be October 15th, 2020. A $25 a day fine shall commence on October 16th, 2020 in the event of noncompliance. Administrative $100 is due for the violation found. Case number, second case 2019-463, Mary Bustos. And this is Mr. Moore.
Location is 104 Niles Road. The violation is Putnam County Standard Housing Code, Section 307.4, care of premises, descriptions, unpermitted covered porch.
And before we begin further, let the record show we have no one in the audience as a respondent. And do we have anyone in the queue waiting? He really needs to be back there monitoring that.
He verified there was no one in the queue.
All right.
And said he'd be back.
All right, please proceed.
Notice is sent. It was first observed on August 19, 2019. Notice of violation was sent on August 20th, 2019 and March 13th, 2020. Date for correction was September 20th, 2020 and April 13th, 2020. The green card was signed. It was not posted at the site or the complex. Final inspection before the hearing was September 10th, 2020. It was still not a compliance. Conditions found was unpermitted for a covered porch. Demonstrative evidence is through inaccurate photos.
You're sharing the screen, but you're sharing the wrong thing.
What are we doing? What are we doing? It's not working.
Can you share this? Not this.
We do.
Yeah,
We hit that.
It was on.
And it wasn't sharing it?
No, you hit this. Is the problem.
Okay, so we hit that. Have to go back.
Yeah.
Open it up in the background and then share that.
Please proceed.
Do you want me to repeat?
Well, you've made a claim of violation of section 307.4. Please demonstrate how that violation occurred, the allegations.
Well, I'll read the comments if that's okay. I never read that yet. Staff recommends compliance by October 15, 2020 by obtaining all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with certificate of completion, or have said structure demolished and property cleaned of all demolition debris, or $25 daily fine to begin on October 16, 2020, and a $100 administrative fee is due at that time. The next screen is the copy of the green cards.
Well, let me ask you something at the beginning. The violation cited is 307.4 care premises, but the description is an unpermitted front covered porch and carport.
Violation is permits required.
I'm sorry?
Violation is permits required, not care premises.
I cannot make out what
The
you're saying.
violation is permits required, not care premises. It was put incorrectly on just the factual summary of the case.
Okay, so what is the correct violation?
12.02 permits required.
I'm sorry, guys, I cannot make out what you're saying.
12.0.
It's not going to help. Talking louder is not going to help. Sorry, it's just me and the combination. I cannot make out what he's saying. Talking louder doesn't seem to help the clarity any.
Let me see if I can stand back. 12.02.
Well, what's happening is that there's a gap between I'm trying to read lips a little bit, and there's a gap between that and what I'm hearing. You're loud and clear. Yeah. Well, why is your voice so much louder than his? Yours is great.
Can you use this microphone instead? Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. What did we provide as notice to the property owner as the violation? I don't have that in the record either.
What did you provide?
Guys, this is not going to work if we can't have.
That was provided to the.
Can you hear me?
I can hear your voice. I cannot make you out.
Let me turn this down. Pretty sure this is.
Provided to the property owner.
How about now? Is it clear? Is my,
Not that, no,
is
not
my
really.
voice clear at all?
It is extremely, extremely low.
It's not under this tape, is it?
No, the microphone.
Okay.
I mean, you don't even need this.
So you got 12.02 is what they received as notice.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I
I
wanted to
just
know.
typed that incorrectly.
Okay, thanks.
Unfortunately, there's nothing more I can do.
Do
Can we not use these?
Yeah, you can put on headphones.
Can we not use those? We can probably hear us better.
He would hear you better if you put on headphones.
Okay.
You want to try that? Let me get you a set.
Hang on. See if these work any better. Somebody try to talk.
Testing, testing, testing,
You're going down. You wanna go up?
You're not helping.
Go up.
testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing,
That's going the wrong way.
Here, let me-
testing, testing, testing. Hello?
I think that's about as loud as.
I can turn you up here. What's going on? Oh, it's. Hear that?
Can you hear that?
That I can hear.
Wow.
Oh, try that.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's much
How does
better.
that sound?
But you need to project a little bit. These hearing aids just,
How about,
they don't really sit in my ear.
how about now?
I would sing, but you would shoot
Oh,
at
that's
me.
fine.
Is that good?
Let's try that for a while.
Just lean over just a little bit. You're talking towards that.
Testing, can you hear me, sir?
Much better. All right, let the record show that the county has provided a copy of the notice of violation and hearing, which provides that the ordinance violation notice to the respondent, Mary Bustos, at 104 Niles Road, Crescent City, 32112, was the Putnam County Land Development Code Section 12.02 permits required. And what you're telling me is that go ahead with your presentation. Let's just continue where you were. She did get the green card and signed it,
Yes, sir.
although it was signed SM Route 3. What does that even mean? Does anyone know?
Have no idea, sir. Don't know.
So what? The post office.
They received the green card.
They received the green card.
They received the
Okay,
green card,
get a
but they,
little closer. Okay. All right, go ahead and show me what the violation is.
On the screen, you'll see the carport and the front covered porch. Taken on September 10th, 2020. Can you hear me?
You need to speak up a little more.
On September 10th, 2020, you can see the carport, covered carport, and the front covered porch. On February 20, 2019, you can see the carport and the front covered porch again. March 13th, 2020, you can see it again, and obviously she's added to the porch.
So what I'm looking at is the picture dated September 10, 2020 at 12:23:42. The carport to the right, just the open carport, is part of the violation, and then the overhang in the front of the photo, is that the other part of the violation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you take the photographs you presented as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir. I did on September 10th, and on September 10th, I took it. And on March 13th, 2020, I took it.
Do the photographs accurately represent the condition of the property and the date in which you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any contact at all with the property owner?
The only contact was in the beginning when she was first notified. And Charlie Erkman informed her she needed permit.
Go ahead.
Charlie Erkman informed her on August 19, 2019 that she needed permits. And she also called in and spoke to Mary Vrabel, and she informed her she needed permits.
Okay. How long ago was those conversations?
Mr. Erkman talked to her on August 19, 2019. And
So it's been over a year.
since he talked to her, yes, sir. I'm sorry, and Charlie Erkman talked to her again on September 10th, 2019.
Has she made any effort at all to try to apply for a permit?
No, sir.
Okay, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find a violation of section 307.4 regarding, section 12.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code regarding requiring permits for construction due to the unpermitted front covered porch and carport. We will enter an order of requiring compliance by October 15th, 2020 by obtaining all applicable permits, all required inspections along with their certificate of completion, or to have the said structure demolished and the property cleaned of all demolition debris. A $25 day fine shall begin on October 16, 2020 in the event of non-compliance. A $100 administrative fee is due at the time. We still have no one in the audience and we have no one in the waiting queue. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right.
Can we see it?
Stop share.
All right, next case, case number 2019-483, Samantha Richardson, property located at 108 Glen Street. Again, I see no one in the audience who is responding. Is there anyone in the queue waiting?
Can you see it?
I can't hear you.
Can you see the screen, sir? Can you see the screen, sir?
I can see the screen, yes, sir.
Okay.
My question was, is anyone in the queue waiting? I need to confirm that.
Nobody's in the queue.
So no one is in the queue waiting.
Absolutely not.
No, sir.
All right, let's begin then. And this is Ms. Lawrence. Is this your case? Whose case?
Mine.
Yours, okay.
Yes, sir.
It said Lawrence on here. No, I'm sorry. It does say more on there. I'm sorry. Richardson. Go ahead.
Location is 108 Glen Street. Violations of Putnam County Standard Housing Code 307.4. Care of premises. Description is untagged and unregistered vehicles. It was first observed August 23rd, 2019. Notice of violation sent August 26, 2019. Date for correction, September 26, 2019. Green card was signed. It was not posted at the site or the complex. Final inspection before the hearing was September 10th, 2020. It was still not in compliance. Conditions found, untagged vehicles. It was demonstrative evidence, true and accurate photos. Staff recommends compliance by October 15th, 2020. All vehicles must be licensed and tagged or removed from the property, or a $25 daily fine to begin on October 16th, 2020, and a $100 administrative fee is due at that time. The next screen, you'll see that she signed the green card.
Is there a tenant there or someone else living there besides Ms. Richardson?
I don't know,
That
sir.
looks like her signature.
I don't know, sir. I talked to one lady. She said that she was the property owner. And I have not talked to her since. She didn't give me her name.
So you don't know if you talked to Ms. Richardson?
I don't know if that was her or not. It was a grown lady. She said she was the property owner.
Does the official record show it's Samantha Richardson only as the property owner? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the official address is the 108 Glen Street, and someone at that address signed for the card on August 13th of this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay. 307.4 talks about inoperable vehicles, inoperable being unregistered. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Unregistered and untagged.
Okay. Show me what you have in terms of evidence for that.
Last inspection, September 10, 2020. You can see that silver car has no tag on it. I got a zoomed picture also on September 10, 2020. So you can see there's no tag. And behind their garage is another car that's not registered or tagged. It has a Georgia tag and it's out of registration. I zoomed on it also so you can see.
Okay.
Expired in 2019. I did talk to her about the cars when I did speak to the lady at the residence, and she pretty much didn't. She just kind of told me she didn't care too much, I guess, and that the car with the Georgia tag was her sister's and it's not her responsibility. And I informed her it was because it's on her property.
Did she volunteer her name? Did you ask her name?
I asked her name. She just said she was the property owner. That's all she would say. I said, are you Miss Richardson? She said, I'm the property owner. That's all she would say.
Interesting. And did you take the photographs you have submitted as evidence?
Yes, sir.
Do these photographs accurately represent the condition of the property and the date on which you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
Right, we're going to find a violation of section 307.4 of the Putnam County Standard Housing Code, care of premises due to untagged, unregistered vehicles being part of the definition of an inoperable motor vehicle, which constitutes a violation of that section of the code. We'll enter an order requiring compliance by October 15, 2020. All vehicles must be licensed and tagged or removed from the property. A $25 a day fine shall begin October 16th, 2020. In the event of non-compliance, $100 administrative fee is due at that time. And let the record show there still being no one in the audience responsive, and there has been no one in the telephone queue. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct. Very good. Right, next case, Linda Rill, case number 2020-118. And this is Ms. Lawrence's case, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you see it, sir?
Go ahead.
Okay, the location is 231 David Avenue in Interlaken. The violations are Putnam County Land Development Code, section 12.02, permits required. They needed a demo permit. Also, Putnam County Standard Housing Code, section 307.4, care of premises for the trash and debris.
Okay. And for the record, there being no one in the audience, is there anyone in the telephone queue? Thank you. Great. Please proceed.
First observed on February 14th, 2020. The notice of violation was sent on February 17th. The date for correction would be March 17th, 2020. The green card was not signed. It was posted at the site on 8/31/2020, and the complex posting also on 8/31/2020.
And for the record, the parcel history for the notification shows an address for Ms. Rill as 3501 Emory Road North, Upper Co, Maryland, 21155. This has got it. And it was unclaimed, unable to forward, so it wasn't rejected for a lack of address.
Yes,
And this
sir.
was the official address from the property appraiser and the tax collector. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, please proceed.
Okay, the final inspection was on 9/10/2020, and it was still not in compliance. The evidence is true and accurate photos and the parcel history. Staff recommends property owner must obtain all applicable permits and all required inspections along with certification of completion. The property needs to be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris and kept and maintained at all times. Staff recommends property owners meet the compliance by October 15th, 2020, or a $25 a day fine to begin on October 16th, 2020. Administrative fee is $100 and due at this time.
And you've got two code sections, 112.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code requiring a demolition permit.
Yes, sir.
The photos, show me the photos regarding that. It looked to me like it's already been demolished.
May I, sir? This case started as an unsafe structure. It was taken down and a demo permit was never.
The case started as an unsafe structure, and it was dilapidated and fell down and kind of came down on its own. They needed a demo permit to remove all the construction debris, and then turned into a trash and debris care of premises.
Do you still need a demo permit to remove the trash and debris?
You need a demo permit to demo a mobile home that was there.
Even if it falls down on its
Even if
own?
it falls down by itself, it needs to be safe, yes, sir.
Okay.
Because there's,
What's the trigger? What's the difference?
well, there could be electricity on or gas that wasn't capped. I mean, there could be issues that are safety oriented. That's why we issue demo permits, so they could go out and verify it's safe before it's actually demolished.
All right.
Takes a little more than a pickup truck, I guess, to get those big iron bars that the mobile home was sitting on. They're still in the ground.
And show me the trash and debris issue.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, the remainder, what was,
Yes, sir. There's
is this like a
a boat.
this
in
wasn't a
the
house,
woods.
was it like a shed or something?
I believe it's a mobile home.
It was a mobile home, yeah.
Okay, the only way you're gonna get on the record, here's the other thing that happens. If I can't really hear you well, the record's not hearing you well. So when you talk, we're gonna have to move out of the way and let somebody else come in and make sure we hear it. But Mary, I don't know what you're picking up over there. All right, go ahead. So what I'm looking at on the picture on 9/10/2020, 11/23, it looks like almost looks like a fence.
There's a fence on the ground toward the front, and there's a boat in the woods.
Okay,
There's a lot of trash you can see underneath the bushes and wood just strewn throughout.
was there a structure other than the fence?
Well,
You needed a permit?
Yes, it's a short.
A structure,
Okay,
you
what-
talking about the
what-
mobile
What
home?
needed a permit for demolition?
The mobile home.
Where is there any of that debris in these photos?
No, sir. The mobile home was removed.
Completely gone?
It was removed in February, and they did not pull a permit to remove it.
Okay. So basically, the only thing the photos are going to show to this point is trash and debris.
Where are we?
Okay.
Next time you should use the pictures for 2015.
Okay. Well,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
did you take all the photos you've presented as demonstrative evidence? Did you take them?
Officer Copeland took some of the pictures, and I took some of the pictures. The last
Which ones
ones,
did you take?
I took the final pictures.
Okay,
on
Officer
the-
Copley, you took the others, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I took them all.
And do the photographs, both of you need to answer to the photo, thank you. Do the photographs amply represent the condition of the property on the date in which you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's affirmative from both of them. Have you had any contact with the property owner at all regarding this?
No, sir. No contact by phone or in person.
It's like she lives in Maryland. How large a piece of property is this? This looks pretty sizable. Like a half acre, an acre? You don't have to necessarily.
It doesn't say, but I'm going to say an acre to an acre and a half. Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
0.22 on the parcel history.
Okay. All right, based on the testimony and evidence presented, we're going to find a violation of section 12.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code, requiring permits for the demolition and removal of the mobile home previously on the property. How did we know the mobile home was there?
From the property appraiser, previous photos.
It was a previous case.
And section 307.4 of the Putnam County Standard Housing Code, care of premises due to trash and debris, as demonstrated by the photographs included as part of the evidence of the county. We're going to enter an order requiring the property owner maintain the necessary permit, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion, and to mow and to clean the property of all trash and debris to maintain the property at all times. Property owner must comply with the order by October 15th, 2020. A $25 a day fine shall commence on October 16th, 2020 in the event of non-compliance. An administrative fee of $100 is due at that time. Okay. All right, case number 2020-214, the Coleman family, Roy E. Coleman Senior Family Trust. Excuse me, it's the Coleman Family Trust, Roy E. Coleman and Francis Coleman trustees, property located 138 Benjamin Drive in Hawthorne. And this is Mr. Coppola. I've lost the screen.
Yeah, I had the wrong case up. I'm sorry, sir. 1 second.
Ah, familiar faces.
Can you see it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, location 138 Benjamin Drive, Hawthorne. Violations are Putnam County Land Development Code Section 2.04.06, use of structures. Living in 4 RVs with no main use structure. And Putnam County Land Development Code Section 12.02, permits required for a demo permit. Notice is sent. It was first observed on April 7, 2020. Date of notice of violation sent was 4/28/2020. Date for correction was May 28, 2020. The green card was signed. The final inspection before hearing was September 10th, 2020, and it was still not in compliance. Demonstrative evidence is true and accurate photos and the parcel history. Staff recommends property owners to cease living in the RVs on a vacant lot and must obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with certificate of completion. Staff recommends property owner meet compliance by October 15, 2020, or a $25 per day fine to begin on October 16, 2020. The administrative fee for this case is $100 and is due at that time.
Okay, the green card was signed, it appears, by a J. Sweat.
Yes, sir.
Is someone living on the property in one of those RVs? Is that?
Yeah, it appears that someone is living in all four RVs on the property.
But the property was, go back to the green card a minute. The property was sent to Baldwin, Florida. We don't know if Jay Sweat's a member of the Coleman family, but someone at the address at 17111 West Beaver Street, Baldwin, Florida, 32234 signed for the card. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. For the record, let it be known that there is no one in the audience physically present as a respondent. Is there anyone waiting in the telephone queue?
No, sir.
No. Thank you.
Okay, the next
All right.
page shows that there was no demo permit pulled because on the property appraiser showed a home on the property a couple of
Let's
years.
back up a minute.
Sure.
You're claiming a violation of Land Development Code 2.0406, use of structures.
There is no
Is
home.
this a
on-
residential zoning district?
It, it's an agriculture. Regardless, they're not allowed to have 4 RVs living there. Regardless, they are not allowed to have 4 RVs.
All I'm trying to establish is how it violates 2.0406.
Mhm.
And it says, and I'm trying to figure what part of it you say is violated.
There's no home on the property. They just have 4 RVs.
Well, here's what I'm looking at. I'm gonna look at the code with you. All right. And this is use of structures.
Yes, sir.
All right, it says in a residential zoning district, an accessory structure may not be placed on the property and used prior to the establishment of a principal use or structure. Is that the section we're talking about?
Yes, sir. But it's an agriculture. It's not
First,
residential.
if that's the section, my first question is it residential zoning?
No, it's an agriculture zone.
So this section wouldn't apply to that.
No, sir.
So how is it, I'm trying to see how it's a violation of 2.0406. That's what we have to prove.
Well, from what I understand, they cannot cannot live in RVs. in
I'm just reading from the
agriculture
code.
zone. I mean, they could move the RVs at a time, like 14 days at a time, but they are not moving.
All right. Okay, so it's not residential. In a commercial and industrial zoning district, is it one of those?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Go back with him and go over the code and show me how it violates the code. That's all I'm asking.
Just less than 2 acres. 3 acres.
Mhm. Okay, section D3 in 2.04.06. In the agricultural general zoning district, an accessory structure may be placed in the property prior to a principal structure as follows. Parcels 5 acres or larger or bona fide farms may place an accessory structure on a lot prior to the establishment of a principal use structure with proper permits. Parcels between 2 acres and 4.99 acres may place one accessory structure 250 square feet or less with proper permits. Parcels less than 2 acres must have a main use structure or building permits issued for a main use structure and the proposed accessory structure prior to having an accessory structure placed on it.
So what's the size of this property in acreage?
It is 1.40 total acres.
So under that provision of the code, what are they allowed on the property?
They're not allowed anything.
So the county's position is due to the acreage, they're not allowed any accessory structures whatsoever.
Exactly.
An RV is an accessory structure?
Yes, sir. And they have 4 RVs on top of it all.
Okay. So go ahead and show me what you got. Thank you.
Okay, the parcel history showing that no demo permits pulled for the house that was there existing before all this. Here's the picture of the 4 RVs. In this picture, you'll see 3 of them along with a boat. Can't see if it was tagged or not.
And we're looking at pictures dated September 10th, 2020.
Yes. This picture, I show the 3 RVs again along with the boat. The next picture you can see on the right is the 4th RV, which I have a better picture of. If you see between the 1 RV and the boat, you'll see the other RV in the back. That's the 4th RV.
Are these RVs inhabited?
From what the neighbor tells me, somebody's living in all of the RVs. From what the neighbor tells me, somebody's living in all 4 RVs. And he's very upset about it. So, just another wide picture of the RVs and the boat.
So the 4th RV is in between the boat and the RV and the picture you now have on the screen. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the boat here, there's a 4th, the 1 RV to the left of the boat, another RV to the left of the boat, and then to the left of that RV is another one, and to the far left near the power pole is the 4th RV.
Do all 4 of these RVs have independent power, water, sewer to them?
Yes, sir. We sent the health department out there. They said they're all hooked up to the septic and they
To the
they
common
have water.
septic at the house?
Yeah, and they have the power pole.
Okay. What about the demolition permit requirement under 12.02?
I wish let me see if I have it here in my notes. There was a house there, according to the property appraiser, I think as far back as 2018. It was taken down with no demo permit.
Where was the house, do you know?
I think it was more right where the 2 main RVs are, right there.
Was the house in the photograph, you have a photograph on the screen now, April 7th, 2020, at 135. Is that house on the property where the RVs are? Or is that a neighbor's property?
No, that's, the house to the right of it?
Yes,
Yeah, that's the neighbor.
that's the neighbor.
Yeah.
So the power pole to the left of the last RV on the left is feeding all 4 of the RVs, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there a well on the property and a septic tank on the property?
Yes, sir, according to the health department.
And that's feeding all 4 of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the property appraiser still appraising this property with a house on it?
I'm not sure really. I mean, they go and they take pictures and, I don't know if they make approvals and whatnot, but, I don't think the property appraiser, the last time they were out there, they didn't have the RVs. They just pulled up around the time of COVID first started.
All right, did you take the photographs presented as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir, I took them all.
And the photographs accurately represent the condition of the property on the date on which you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
And let the record again show we have no one in the audience. Is there anyone in the telephone queue? Thank you. All right. Based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find a violation of Putnam County Land Development Code Section 2.0406. Use of structures. The property is less than 1.5 acres or no accessory structures being allowed without a main use structure. There's evidence showing there are at least 4 recreational vehicles, all 4 of which are inhabited on the subject property. We'll find a violation of Section 12.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code, requiring a demolition permit for the house that is missing, according to the photographs and evidence presented. We'll enter an order requiring the property owner to stop allowing individuals to live in the RVs on a vacant lot. Is it against the code to live there if they're otherwise permitted?
Yes, sir, they cannot live in an RV. Yes, sir, you cannot live in an RV on a vacant lot. You can't live in an RV, period.
You didn't really cite them for that. That's what I was talking about. It's just,
The code we have is living in an RV temporarily, but in this situation, it seems like they're looking to live there permanently. So I didn't want to add that code because it just seemed like it was, didn't fit this criteria here.
well, let's make the order indicate that they shall remove the RVs from the vacant lot and must maintain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion. Compliance shall be completed by October 15th, 2020. A $25 a day fine shall commence on October 16th, 2020 in the event of non-compliance. Administrative fee of $100 is due at that time. Okay.
Yeah.
Next case, number 2020-259, Tanya Bree Cole and Damon Taylor. Property at 114 Nutmeg Trail, Interlochen. Mr. Coppola.
Okay. Location 114 Nutmeg Trail, Interlochen. Violations, Putnam County Land Development Code Section 2.04.06, use of structures. Description, living in an RV on a lot with unsafe structure. Putnam County Land Development Code Section 2.05.11, RV as a temporary shelter, living in an RV. Putnam County Land Development Code Section 12.02, permits required for a demo or alteration permit. Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 103.2, unsafe structure, which was a burnt mobile home. Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 307.4, care of premises, trash and debris.
And for the record, there being no one in the audience, is there anyone in the telephone queue?
No, sir.
No, sir.
There is not.
None. Okay, first observed was April 27, 2020. Date of notice violation sent was 4/28/2020. Date for correction was May 28, 2020, and the green card was signed. The final inspection before hearing was September 10, 2020. Compliance was still not met. Demonstrative evidence, true and accurate photos and parcel history. Staff recommends property owners to cease living in an RV on a lot with an unsafe structure that does not meet the minimum standards for basic equipment and facilities. And property owner needs to obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections along with certificate of completion, or have said structure demolished and remove all demolition debris. And property needs to be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris and must be kept maintained at all times. Staff recommends property owner meet compliance on October 15, 2020, or a $25 per day fine to begin on October 16, 2020, and the administrative fee is due at that time.
I noticed that the green card was signed.
Yes, sir.
The address for the green card was
The actual location.
Tanya Bree Cole and Damon Taylor at 114 Nutmeg Trail, Interlochen, Florida, 32148.
Yes, sir.
It looks like it may be T. Cole. Looks like Ms. Cole may have signed it.
Yes, sir. She's the main owner, Tanya Cole.
There's something about CV19. I wonder what the rest of it is. VSR 2 CV19.
I think the post office writes that.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Okay. You have any contact with either Ms. Cole or Mr. Taylor?
No, sir, we have never spoken to them. They signed all the green cards, but never contacted me and never came out to talk to me when I went by.
Okay.
The 2019 taxes have not been paid. The parcel history shows that they have not pulled any permits to either fix or remove the mobile home that's there that's burnt.
Okay, we got 5 different violations here. Let's go through one at a time and tell me about them. You've got the 2.0406 use of structures, living in an RV on a lot with an unsafe structure.
Yes, so
Is that all in 2.0406, the unsafe structure part?
Kind of.
That's use of structure.
Yeah, the use of structure, if it's an unsafe structure and burned down, it's considered not there. So it's not a main.
2.0406 doesn't talk about unsafe structures.
I know, but it's because the unsafe structure is there, it makes it that there's no main use structure there. So they shouldn't be living in an RV there. And then the next code is an unsafe structure.
Back up. First of all, how many acres is the property? That's part of your code requirement.
Okay. It is 1.14 acres.
So it's fewer than 2 acres.
Yes, sir.
All right, if it's fewer than 2 acres, you must have a main use structure or building permits issued for a main use structure. And if it's proposed accessory structure, must also have a permit prior to having accessory structure placed on it. So you're saying there's no main use structure?
No, there's no main use structure because it is burned down.
Okay. So, okay, what you're saying is the lot, the unsafe structure on the lot means there's no main use structure.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
And then show me the RV.
Okay, the RV in the first picture is on the left. They also have another RV right here on the right, which I have a better picture of.
For the record, back up again.
Sure.
And this is a photo taken September 10th, 2020 at 10:53.
Yes, sir. It's my last picture there.
All right.
This will
So
actually
the
show
RV
you,
you're talking about is which?
the one on the left is from what I'm told by the neighbor is the one they're living in.
Like a 5th wheel trailer RV?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It also shows the COP.
And someone's living there?
Someone's living there.
How do you know someone's living there?
The neighbor confirmed. He actually told me a few stories where they had a dog and the dog got hit by a car and they left it in the middle of the street. The neighbor had to shovel him up and bring it to him so he could bury it. They said that they're dumping their feces all over the yard and it's quite disgusting.
Back up a minute. Any power, water, or sewer to that RV structure?
I don't think they do. I heard that they were trying to steal power, but FPL came out and stopped it. So they might be using a generator.
Who did you hear that from?
From the neighbor. Neighbor's giving me all the information. He is absolutely disgusted by the whole thing.
You've never witnessed anyone there yourself when you were out there?
No, but you could tell there's someone living there because they have chairs outside the RV. In the later pictures, it looks like a whole setup,
Right.
barbecue and all that.
Should go ahead.
Okay, and here's more of the COP, and there's another RV here on the right. It's very old. Not sure if someone's living in it.
So the testimony you have concerning the second violation, which is Putnam County Land Development Code 2.05.11, using the RV as a temporary shelter, is basically based on the testimony of the neighbors and your observation?
Yes, sir. From
And again,
seeing-
that observation was what?
From here, I'll show you the pictures down below.
Okay.
I'll go back to these. Okay, you see in this picture here, he has a tent coming
Back
out
up.
of the
Let's
RV.
identify the picture for the record. Good. This is the one May 28, 2020 at 1:50.
Yes, sir.
All right.
There's a little, I guess you can call it a tarp or an awning, and they have like chairs sitting out there. There's also another one with a barbecue. Actually, one day I was there was a barbecue running. I think this is the picture here, May 28th, because there was some smoke there.
Okay.
This is the home here.
This is the Burn mobile home?
Yeah, on May 28th.
This is the violation regarding section 103.2, unsafe structure, Burn mobile home?
Yes, sir. It's burned and dilapidated on the other side. As a matter of fact, when I went for my last pictures, it is completely down now. That's it there. It seems like he's doing it on his own with no permits. And he's got appliances.
All the photographs show trash and debris in the yards.
Yes, it's lots of trash.
It's like a washer or dryer there. Back down one, please. This is the photograph, May 23, 2020, 150. Looks like it might be a dryer, pallet,
Yes, sir.
bucket,
It looks that way.
debris around the Burn mobile home.
Yes, sir.
The debris in the yard, okay?
He moves around a lot, so now the two RVs are together in this picture. Same day, May 28th. That was the close-up of, showed me that they were still living there. Now, April 27th was when I was first out there. The high grass and weeds was really high. The RV was more in the front, and you can see the other RV there. You could see the unsafe mobile home was still standing back then. It wasn't half burnt yet at the time. That pretty much covers all my codes.
Did you take the photographs you presented as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir, I took them all.
Does the photographs actually represent the condition of the property on the date on which you took them?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the violation regarding the demolition or alteration permit on 12.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code.
He's going to need a permit to either demo that mobile home or fix it, which I don't think is an option. He would
So
need-
is it a violation if it just sits there and they haven't got a permit yet?
It's unsafe. I mean, if somebody was to get in there and get into that house.
My point is, before they actually start to try to demolition it, do they need a permit?
Oh, yeah, they would need a permit.
So anytime there's an unsafe structure, you automatically need a permit,
Yes, sir.
even if they haven't done anything to try to demolish it.
I mean, if there's an unsafe home that just has broken windows and they could board it up, then they don't need a permit.
You
But
see what I'm getting at? In other words, if the property's sitting there unsafe, and you're not trying to do anything yet, which unsafe is a violation,
Mhm.
can you put another violation on top of that and say, even though you haven't started the demolition, you need a permit?
Yes, sir, because you need a permit. A permit is required to get rid of, to take care of the unsafe mobile home. They can't just board it up where they could make it safe. They have to take it down or
But
fix
they
it up.
haven't violated not getting a permit until they actually try to move it. All I'm getting at is, how can they violate not getting a permit if they haven't started work on doing the demolition?
I get what he's saying. It either needs a demo or an alterations to fix the unsafe part.
Yes.
So that needs a permit.
Yeah, it needs a permit. He needs a permit to fix this situation as far as this house. The house just cannot stay there like that, falling apart.
But he hadn't committed the violation yet because he hasn't tried to fix the situation.
It's a violation because it's open and unsafe. If it was secure and sitting there and it had windows boarded up and everything was secured,
Oh, I think there's a violation.
then there's no violation. But if it's sitting there open and accessible and it's unsafe, he
That's
needs
all
to make
fine.
his.
That's a violation.
Yeah, he needs to make his decision whether he's going to demolish it or he's going to make it habitable, which requires a permit either way.
Hang on. I just don't want to guilty of overcharging anybody, because if they haven't tried to remove it yet or demolish it, what have they violated? I mean, they got other violations.
Yeah, they have to remove that house. I mean, a kid
I got
can walk
that.
in there.
And they have to get a permit before they do it.
Yes.
But
Yes, sir.
until they try to remove it without a permit, how can it be a violation for not having a permit?
Well, the thing is, on my last pics, they already took it down. So he's already started the process of taking it down. So he needs a permit.
So you're saying they already took down what you need a permit for?
If you see in my pictures, on my last picture, September 10th, right here, the house is already down.
So that's what you're saying is a violation of 12.02.
Yeah, he took it down and there's no demo.
Okay.
permit.
That's what I was getting at. Because it's not the unsafe structure per se, it's they took this structure down and showing in a photograph 9/10/2020 at 10:55.
Yes, sir.
That used to be a mobile home.
Yes,
That
sir.
was demolished without a permit.
Exactly.
All right, there still being no one in the audience. Is there anyone in the telephone queue? Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and find a violation of section 2.0406 of the Putnam County Land Development Code regarding the presence of an RV on a lot without a principal structure, there being no safe structure which can qualify as a principal structure. A violation of section 2.05.11 of the Putnam County Land Development Code, using the RV as a temporary shelter and living in the RV. A violation of section 12.02 of the Putnam County Land Development Code requiring permits for the demolition or alteration of the one mobile home on the property that has been demolished. A violation of section 103.2 of the Putnam County Housing Code due to the unsafe structure of the burned mobile home, which is separate from the mobile home that was demolished without a permit, and that's correct.
Yes, sir.
And then a violation of Putnam County Standard Housing Code, section 307.4, due to the trash and debris on the property. We'll enter an order requiring the property owner to remove the RV on the lot with the unsafe structure that does not meet the minimum standards for basic equipment. The RV does not meet the minimum standards for basic equipment and facilities. The property owner must obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion for the removal of that unsafe structure. The structure or the structure may be demolished and removed of all demolition permit or debris. Property must be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris, must be maintained at all times. And after the fact, demolition permit is required for the removal of the one mobile home. Compliance shall be completed by October 15, 2020. A $25 a day fine shall commence on October 16, 2020. The event of non-compliance, administrative fee is due at that time. All right, case number 2020-272, James R. Stokely Sr., the property of 707 Brett Avenue in Interlochen. Mr. Coppola.
Okay, Putnam County Standard Housing Code, section 309.1, condemned structure. Description, dilapidated, burnt mobile home and shed. Putnam County Standard Housing Code, section 307.4, care of premises, trash and debris, and inoperable vehicles. Putnam County Land Development Code, section 12.02, permits required. First observed, April 22nd, 2020. Date of notice violation sent was April 23rd, 2020. Date for correction, May 23rd, 2020. The green
For the
card was-
record, if you excuse me, if we see no one in the audience as a respondent, is there anyone in the telephone queue? All right, thank you. All right, please proceed.
The green card was not signed, posted at the site and the complex on August 31st, 2020. The final inspection before the hearing was September 10, 2020, and they were still not in compliance. Demonstrative evidence is true and accurate photos and parcel history. Staff recommends property owner must obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion and/or occupancy to either bring them unsafe mobile homes in addition to a safe and habitable structure, or have unsafe mobile homes in addition demolished and property cleared of all demolition debris, and property needs to be maintained, mowed, and cleaned of all trash and debris, and must be kept maintained at all times. And all vehicles must be legally licensed and tagged or removed from the property. Staff recommends property owner meet compliance by October 15th, or a $25 per day fine to begin on October 16, 2020. The administrative fee for this case is $100 and is due at that time.
All right, show me the violation of 309.1, Putnam County Standard Housing Code, the condemned structure.
Okay. Pictures are of my posting first, AOS. And
Let me back up first. In terms of notice, it appears that we sent the notice of violation to James R. Stokely Sr. at 220 Ellen Avenue, Interlochen, Florida, 32148.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's the
envelope-
address maintained by the tax collector and the property appraiser for the ownership of this property?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The envelope is on the printout here.
Have you had any contact with Mr. Stokely?
No, sir.
You have not?
No contact whatsoever. Never signed green
Any of the
card.
neighbors seen or talked to him?
No, sir. He just disappeared. Never signed green cards, never removed the postings, hasn't paid the taxes in 2019, never contacted me.
How far away is Ellen Avenue from Brett Avenue?
It's probably about 10 miles.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the first picture is for my last picture day. You'll see on the left, that's the mobile home. It's just demolished. It was burnt at one time. There is the two inoperable cars.
Back up, slow down. Go back to the next previous one. What are you trying to show here?
These are the two inoperable cars that are there with no tags.
So the main reason they're inoperable is not having license tags?
Yes, sir. They have been there.
Is there two of them? Is that not, okay, there's just two.
It's two. It's a truck and a Isuzu or something. There's another angle of it's the shed part, which is also burned. You'll see the debris is all over the yard, the roof. The place burned down and it's spread out throughout the whole property there. That's just another angle showing that the property is pretty much a mess.
Is the backup one? Is that the same truck, that blue truck, the one that had the door open in the first picture?
Yes, sir. Same trucks. May 20th, this was another angle of the mobile home. You can see through the back, it's completely burnt. Here's the shed with all the remnants next to it, to the right. This is another angle of all the pieces of the house spread out, burned. And that's all I got.
So what was demolished without a permit?
Well, he needs a permit in order to get rid
Was
of
there
it.
anything demolished without a permit?
It just burned down and he just abandoned it. So for him to rectify this, he's going to need a permit to fix it.
And that's a solution, but that's not the violation.
It's required.
That's fine. You can put in the order that said that it's required, but it's not a violation.
Okay. Yeah.
See, a violation would be something if he tried to demolish something without a permit.
Yeah, see, like, in my case summary, I explained that for him to, he's got to obtain all the applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion and/or occupancy to either bring them unsafe mobile homes in addition to a safe and habitable structure. So he's going to need permits one way or the other.
I'm not arguing that point with you.
No, I
We
understand.
will need a permit
Mhm.
to comply. But he
So I
hasn't
should not add
violated
it.
that section of the code yet by not getting a permit.
Okay. Okay.
It's a violation is he did something requiring a permit and didn't have one.
I understand.
That's the difference. Okay. Again, did you take the photographs you presented as demonstrative evidence?
Yes, sir. I took them
Do the
all.
photographs accurately represent the condition of property on the day you took the photographs?
Yes, sir.
And there still being no one in the audience who is responsive, is there anyone in the telephone queue?
No, sir. There's definitely nobody there.
Is there anyone in the telephone queue?
Jacob?
Okay. To confirm, there is no one in the telephone queue. Therefore, we're going to find a violation based on the evidence and testimony presented of Putnam County Standard Housing Code Section 309.1 due to the dilapidated condition, burned mobile home and shed, a violation of Section 307.4 care of premises due to the trash and debris and the inoperable vehicles, which show they have no registration. We're going to enter an order requiring the property owner to obtain all applicable permits, all required inspections, along with a certificate of completion and/or occupancy to either bring the unsafe mobile homes in addition to a safe and habitable structure, or to have the unsafe mobile home in addition demolished and the property cleared of all demolition debris. Property shall be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris, must be maintained at all times, and all vehicles, motor vehicles on the property must be legally licensed and tagged or removed from the property. Compliance shall be completed by October 15th, 2020, or a $25 a day fine shall commence on October 16th, 2020 in the event of non-compliance. Administrative fee of $100 is due at that time. Okay.
Can you give me 1 second, sir? I'm pulling up for her.
Florissant and Marguerite Toussaint. I love saying that. In this case, it's Ms. Lawrence. Welcome.
All right, this is an unassigned location. We have the parcel number listed below. Violation is Putnam County Standard Housing Code, Section 307.4, care of premises, trash and debris, and inoperable vehicles. It was first observed 4/28 of 20. The violation notice was sent on 4/29/20. Date for correction would be 5/29/20. The green card was signed. No posting at the site or complex. Final inspection before hearing was September the 10th, 2020, and they were not in compliance. Demonstrative evidence is the true and accurate photos. Staff recommends that the property need to be mowed, cleaned of all trash and debris, and must be kept and maintained at all times. All vehicles must be legally registered, tagged, or removed from the property. Staff recommends property owners meet compliance by October 15th, 2020, or a $25 daily fine will begin on October 16th, and a $100 admin fee is due at this time.
Okay.
Okay, first one shows that they did in fact
Hang on 1
sign.
second. We see no one in the audience who is responsive. Is there anyone in the telephone queue? Thank you. All right, please proceed. Show me what the violation is.
Okay, they did sign the green card.
And for the record, the green card was addressed to the address provided by the property owners, the property appraiser, and the tax collector. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, in Port
And that's
Lucie.
the
Yes,
5835 Northwest Lom Street in Point St. Lucie.
yes, sir.
It looks like it was signed by Marguerite Florissant.
Yes, sir.
Toussaint. Very good. All right, show me the violation.
All right, they have inoperable cars, campers, debris everywhere. The photos on September the 10th, I did take. Those were our final photos. There's not any change from my photos from the previous photos. It's all the garbage and trash still there. This was originally a call from the sheriff's office that someone was living in the RV. Once they got the notice, they apparently abandoned and left everything as you see it in the photographs.
Goodness.
It's just a hot mess.
Has anyone had any contact with the owners?
No, sir.
It's total speculation on my part, but you wonder, some of these absentee owners have no idea what's going on their property, and people didn't turn it into a dumping ground. And I can't imagine, and again, it's speculation, I just can't imagine that these ladies put this on the property themselves. And nobody's ever seen any activity where somebody's dumping on this property? Are these the neighbors?
There's not many neighbors around there. It's kind of out. That's why it has an unassigned location. It doesn't have a 911 address.
Where is this in? It's in Interlochen?
You know,
In Interlochen Lakes Estates area? I know it's not in Interlochen Lakes Estates, but
yes, sir.
Yeah.
It shows up on the Google map and on the property appraiser as 111 Dottie Street. That's where the parcel number is. It just doesn't have an official 911 address.
you know, the thing about this property at some point in time, if the predictions on global warming all take place, everything west of the river is going to be valuable. It's going to be waterfront. Palatka, I went into it with Mr. Ciotti regarding how high we are right now. I was always told it's 70 feet, and he put out his altimeter. Sure enough, it's 77 feet above sea level. Downtown's about 7 feet, 5 feet. And the Ravine Gardens, you can kind of tell the Ravine Gardens is on the top of the sand dune where we are, and it basically got a little canyon created by the streams, and the bottom of the garden's about downtown. And so this property is even higher than that. At some point, all this is going to become valuable, but not today. At any rate, did you take the photographs you presented as demonstrative evidence?
I did take the photographs on September
The
the 10th.
photographs actually represents condition of the property on the date you took the photographs.
Yes, sir.
Right. So basically, we're looking at trash and debris in inoperable vehicles. Show me the inoperable vehicles and why they're inoperable.
The car has no tag and it looks rather broken down. The RV itself looks abused.
Is that considered a vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It requires a tag, and nothing is tagged on this property. And also the vehicle
Is
is,
there a way to affix an RV to the property so that it becomes the equivalent of a house?
no, sir,
Only a mobile home can do that.
only in Alabama.
So it always require a tag if it's on the property.
Yes,
It's like a commode,
yes,
a
sir.
washing machine, an air conditioner. It's a regular flea market.
LP tanks. Yeah, it's,
Propane tank. The hood of the car is up.
yes, sir. And the windows are down or broken. I couldn't tell if they were down or they were gone. It's terrible.
All right, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find a violation of Putnam County Standard Housing Code 307.4, care of premises due to trash and debris, and two inoperable vehicles, being the blue car and the RV. We're going to enter an order requiring the property to be mowed and cleaned of all trash and debris and maintained at all times, and to have the vehicles legally registered and tagged or removed from the property. Compliance must be finished by October 15th, 2020. A $25 day fine shall commence on October 16th, 2020 in the event of noncompliance. A $100 administrative fee is due at that time. Very good. Okay. Final case appears to be Dane L. and April C. Johnson, 16 Southwest 5th Avenue. Mr. Coppola.
Violations of Putnam County Standard Housing Code, Section 307.4, care of premises, description, high grass and weeds, trash and debris, inopt RV. It was first observed January 24, 2019. Notice of violation sent January 24, 2019. Date for correction, February 24, 2019. Green card was not signed. It was posted at the complex on September 8, 2020 and September 4, 2020 at the site. First hearing date was January 21st.
Before we begin, let the record show there's no one in the audience as a respondent. Is there anyone in the telephone queue?
No, sir.
Thank you. Please proceed.
First hearing date was January 21st, 2020. Property owners were not present at the hearing. Special magistrate and action with the initial order required respondent to take certain corrective action by February 21st, 2020, or a $25 daily fine would begin February 22nd, 2020. It would accrue until a violation had been corrected. Additionally, the $100 administrative fee was due at that time. The property owner was not in compliance by February 21st, 2020. The total fines and fees today, including the administrative fee, equals $5,350. Demonstrative evidence, true and accurate photos that show the property status and past judgment liens. Staff recommendation is to issue order imposing an administrative fine and lien to be recorded against the subject property.
Show me the photographs. Did you take these photographs?
Yes, sir.
And they accurately represent the condition of the property and the date in which you took them?
Yes, sir.
And that date being September 4th, 2020?
Yes, sir.
And you just got, what, one? Or you got more than that?
Yes, sir. Just the one.
So what's happened on September 10th, 2020? You took those also?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does these photographs show a change of condition of the property at all since the date of the order?
No, so nothing's moved. The grass just keeps getting higher.
Mobile homes, have that been moved? You can
No,
tell?
sir. Nothing's been moved. Everything's still sitting in the same spot. And we've had no communication with them.
You got any contact from the owner after the order was submitted?
No, sir.
Is their mailing address different than the location of the property?
Yes, sir. It is. It's 2183 Cypress Landing Drive, Atlantic Beach, Florida.
In Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
But you have no contact with them regardless?
No, sir.
All right, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to issue an order imposing administrative fine and lien to be recorded against the subject property. The total of fines and liens as of today's date, including the $100 administrative fee, is $5,350. Again, there being no one in the audience and no one on the telephone queue, is that correct?
Correct.
With that affirmation, there's no one waiting online. That being the last item on our agenda, there being no other business, we are going to hereby adjourn these proceedings. Please let me know when we are off of YouTube.
You had to run somewhere. You had to do something for Jim.
Meeting gets concluded. We're just going to wait till we get off of YouTube. We need to make sure that we are off of YouTube.